Week 11 of the Master Keys. Obviously, in the class last week, you can understand my passion and the excitement that I had for us helping you help yourself develop the 4 little habits that create persistence. And persistence towards a definiteness of purpose. So we came here to shoot this today because this is actually the exact spot, actually about 20 yards from here is a picnic table. After Davina and I got the definiteness of purpose and personal pivotal needs, that those triggers pulled by the kaleidoscope of overwhelming, incredible nature and feeling and aura of this island. It was actually over there on that picnic table that we started to battleship the thing. And you know from reading what I mean is moving here was the big picture. What do we have to do this year? What do we have to do this month? And down to what do we have to do today? And that's what persistence really is persistence to continuous action that'll help create the definiteness of purpose. Look, we're all in networking. We all know what needs to be done. So let me give you a little tip that will pull together persistence into your daily life and also drive you to your definiteness of purpose and build confidence simultaneously. I like to call it the 2 numbers. Now, in the 3rd scroll, which obviously we timed the persistence revelation with the 3rd scroll, at the tail end of the scroll, and I'll talk a little bit about this in the class on Sunday night, but in a little more detail, but on the persistence scroll, right at the end, Og talks about creating an insurmountable advantage. And I created that insurmountable advantage for myself in previous iterations, even before network marketing. But in network marketing, it's really easy. Let's say you are going to make 20 dials. You need to commit how many dials you're going to make, 20 dials, 30 dials, 40 dials. The number doesn't matter, but you need to pick a number, and since you always keep your promises, you're going to do that. But you need to create a second number, and that second number is how many people you're going to talk to. So if you're going to dial 20 times and talk to 6 people, and you've dialed 20 times and you've talked to 3, keep going. That's persistence to a continuous action. Let's say you've dialed the phone 10 times and you have talked to 6 people. You're not done because you haven't made the 20 dials. So make sure you hit both numbers. Now let's say on the 23rd dial you talk to the 6th person and they say they're not interested. Here's what separates the champions in persistence, which is the one thing that's going to drive your business, which you now know, from the chumps. That last call, the person said no. On your 23rd dial, you talked to the 6th person and they said they weren't interested in going to visit your website or listening to a CD, whatever way you're trying to expose them to your business. You have to keep going until you end on a yes. This will give you an insurmountable advantage. And would it be okay if I gave you social proof? Listen very carefully to these numbers. 1, 11, 13, 9, 16, 4, 22, 6, and 5. Do you remember the first number? Yeah, you do, don't you? Do you remember the last number? Yep, and you'd be willing to place a major bet that you'd get those numbers right. Now, you remember the first number was 1. Do you remember the middle number? Maybe you think you do.
6, maybe?
But would you bet a month's pay on it? Probably not. What's the point? People remember the first and last thing that they do. And this will give you that insurmountable advantage. This is the thing that will drive your business. Because when you make that extra 4 or 5 calls to talk to one more person and you end on a yes, that's all your subconscious is going to remember, is that you kept your promise to make the calls and you finished with a yes. Insurmountable advantage. Again, we'll go over it. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to run into some obstacles from time to time. We all do. I put a second video down here about my daughter, and we're just talking about, in that video, the manifestation of her definiteness of purpose. Here's a couple of things that you don't know, some obstacles she ran into. I had sold her my car, and she was going to sell the car in Florida, but she got $2,000 less on the car than she was hoping to get. She made a nice profit because she hustled her father on the original price of the car, but that's okay. The reality is For her to get her dogs over here cost her an extra $1,000. What was the other thing? The shipping of her stuff cost her an extra $400. The shipping of her vehicle cost her an extra $600. And as you see in the video when you watch it below, I want you to notice something. None of those obstacles are in there. She doesn't even acknowledge them. Because she had persistence towards consistent action, the other thing that isn't in that video that you don't know, and I'm bringing the stuff up, she never would because she gets it. The place that she works, like all restaurants, was down about 20%, so the money she was hoping to make over 90 days was about 20% less. But because she held the vision and took persistent action towards moving to Kauai on her own, she was able to find some additional creative ways to earn the income and show up here 100% on her own with the money that she needs to rent her own place and get another vehicle. Crazy kid's going to get a motorcycle. Parents never stop worrying, but that's okay, a little motor scooter. But anyway, here's the point. As you view that video, I want you to keep one thing in mind. And I'm proud of my daughter, but this isn't a proud daddy moment. The point is, because I went for my dream by battle shipping what we needed to do and breaking it down day by day and living from intention, that persistence of living from intention rather than looking at methods, that set an example for her. And as a result, she emulated that. So the greatest gift that we can give the people that we love is actually an example of what works, which is really cool. It's a great Christmas gift. So indulge me a little proud daddy moment. Watch the second video down there. But notice the determination and the joy that she has from achieving something for one simple reason. She had a DMP, and she kept her definite major purpose in the forefront, and she kept battle shipping it, what she could do that day to advance her goals. So week 11 is incredible because Hanel talks about inductive reasoning. And what we're trying to get you to recognize is the patterns. It talks about inductive reasoning, the patterns of people that connect with what they want is they keep chipping away daily. That's a persistent action. Knowledge won't apply itself. Set daily goals that will manifest your battleship. And we're really looking forward to you coming over here because most people won't do what you did. I don't know if you can see it out there today, but that's Nihao.
They didn't hear you.
I don't know if you can see it out there. My wife says we can't hear you, the fabulous Davine. There's an island out there called Nihao, and it's called the Forbidden Island. Most people forbid themselves from ever achieving their definite major purpose because they don't know how to break persistence down like you do, and they don't know how to break it down into a daily thing. So keep doing all those good things, and we'll see you Sunday night. And watch my daughter's video and notice the pride, because it's available right out of the material that you're learning, how she developed that, and you can have it too. We'll see you Sunday night. Peace be the journey.